What's up, YouTube? This is Saga TV, and today we're going to go ahead and break down some of the significant key points and the prosecutors in the case review for Lil'Miles. Mike, what's his name? Mike Farsley, aka Lil'Miles, for YSL. But okay, here we go.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, well, first of all, I think your thing's still here. Okay. Your Honor, first of all, can everybody hear me? As to the, yes, I think we were transparent with the court before that Mr. Geary got the facts wrong. That happened. However, here's what he didn't get wrong. The jail calls are, I know Mr. Menendez, I respect him as, you know, what he's saying, but the jail calls are patently different than what he's saying. It's clear based off these jail calls. The only reason we did not actually find the phone and did not actually find the gun disposed of, that one of the guns was taken to Farley's family members. That's really clear from the jail calls. And so that's first of all. Not just, I don't believe the court needs to actually hear the jail calls to make. I just wanted to rebut that first of all. Second of all, Your Honor, Farley is currently facing murder charges for the murder of Mr. Drinks. He was incarcerated for Mr. Drinks' murder prior to this indictment. That was a brutal murder by gang members in a rival in a gang dispute, essentially. Farley was seen at a gas station immediately before the murder. He was wearing YSL apparel with the word slime on them. He was with his co-defendants that murder at the gas station. That's like immediately before the shooting. Additionally, evidence shows that Farley was at essentially a YSL trap house, like a house where they commit unlawful activities, within about 48 hours after that shooting. It was so recent, this shooting, that one of the co-defendants actually was still wearing the same clothes as during the murder. The state also has evidence that shows that Farley has some access to a cell phone while he's within the Fulton County Jail, and I attached this to our motion as State's Exhibit A. If the court would has a copy of my omnibus motion I filed, it's attached to State's Exhibit A. It was located on as recently as December 3rd of 2022. It was posted on an Instagram account that was named ysl.rude, and it showed a picture of Farley that appears to be, I don't know the legal term for it, but a selfie. It's where he's holding a camera and he's taking a picture of himself while displaying a middle finger. It appears that that photo was taken in the Fulton County Jail. Whoever created this post, presumably a YSL associate or sympathizer, posted this selfie of Farley with the comment, "Free the creator of Massa." I think, as Mr. Menendez agreed, Massa is the clothing line associated with YSL. It means the YSL slogan, "Make America Slime Again." Additionally, Farley's jail calls show that he has communicated with co-defendants through third parties. For example, he'd call a girlfriend of a co-defendant, they'd contact with that co-defendant. So for the reasons stated above, and additionally because the nature of this charge is a murder charge, in addition to all these gang charges, he was a participant in a very serious homicide, a shooting of a young man, only less than a year ago. We would ask that this court deny bond, but certainly we also would hope that the court will consider the jail calls as well, because I think that truly solidifies why Mr. Farley cannot have a bond. But additionally, Your Honor, there's been no change in circumstances, although the only difference between what Mr. Geary, he believes that the gun and the phone had been recovered. That was the only error. Other than that, everything he said was accurate, and the jail calls do reflect that Farley attempted to hide these items. He is charged for murder. And again, it does look like, whether or not he currently has a cell phone in his possession, that photo being posted so recently of a selfie, it's not a picture that someone took of him. It's clearly that he took of himself while giving a middle finger. It's attached as Exhibit A in the jail.
Just the mere fact of facing a murder charge doesn't make you a bond risk. Otherwise, everyone that's presumed innocent and accused of murder wouldn't get a bond. And again, Judge, it's not YSL apparel. That's the part that Don Geary left unanswered last time. I don't want to get the state any ideas, but on the Make America Slime Again Instagram account, Mr. Williams is not the only one wearing the clothing. And Make America Slime Again has nothing to do with YSL explicitly. There's also artists like Future and T.I. on the Instagram wearing the same hat at Mr. Williams and that same shirt that Mr. Farley's wearing on the BP video, Your Honor. And the shirt says slime or die. It's just a play on words like trap or die. Your Honor, again, the state still by their proffer in a black and white way has failed to articulate any party to any crime. If you listen carefully to what Ms. Rosenwasser just said, all she talked about was presence and association. He's at the BP. He's with these people afterwards. He's wearing a shirt that has the word slime on it. Your Honor, Make America Slime Again is an LLC. It's an official company. It has nothing to do with just YSL. It was Mr. Farley's attempt to get any proximity to any artist of any kind of attention when attention is such a commodity these days, especially for the clothing business. And if you notice too, the shirts that Mr. Wani Lee is wearing in his videos, because Mr. Farley and him are close friends from since they can even remember, and he is his personal assistant paid by Alamo Records in an official way, Mr. Wani Lee is also wearing shirts from a different clothing line. I think it was True Detail or something like that, and it's some relative or other person that he's trying to put on. So, Your Honor, this is not YSL apparel. This is a person, an entrepreneur who is close to Wani Lee, has a business relationship with him, and then networks with musicians and other types of people to make his clothing more visible. And so, Your Honor, again, there's just presence, there's just association, and as far as access to a phone, that doesn't show anything. It shows that he's on the phone in the jail, but it doesn't mean that it was his phone. It doesn't mean that he posted it. That account that did the story wasn't him. You can reshare stories. You can post stories of other people. So just like when we had that proffer about Mr. Kitchens where someone said, oh, I'll do anything for Gunna. If someone wants to post something with an image that they somehow got because a camera from a jail phone was on Mr. Farley for a second and took a picture of him giving the middle finger, okay, he didn't decide to post that. He didn't decide to someone say free him or anything like that, Your Honor. So again, I don't see how being in a phone image makes you a risk on any of the bond factors, Judge.
I want to listen to the...
Okay.
I'm going to give the closing answer a minute. And the settlements. So I'm going to take 10 minutes. Jail calls.
This is number one, and I'd like to just be able to respond after each one.
That's fine. Let's play jail call number one, please. Now.
Okay.
The free call from an incarcerated individual at Fulton County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. Waiting to receive a phone call can be hard, but now you can easily and quickly send messages to your loved one. E-messaging is now available to help you stay more connected. Download the Securus app to sign up.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up?
You tell me.
What you doing?
Right. Huh?
What you doing?
Crying my eyes out.
You ain't got to cry, man. It's all right. These folks, somebody, I done shot and killed somebody, man.
What?
Yeah, that was his say on the sign. He said, accused. But he said, I'm the one who, I don't know, this shit crap.
Yeah, so what the fuck? I can't. I'm confused.
Huh?
Shot and killed somebody.
What they do when I left?
They didn't do nothing. They came ask for your phone, but I didn't know. I didn't see no phone.
Yeah.
To get nobody.
You still got that number I gave you? You had I called my dad.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said he called a lawyer, but lawyer answered. He said keep him updated.
I need you to get Bob on number, you know? So I can goddamn. No, hey, look, matter of fact, call Lexi, baby, dad. You see what I'm saying?
Call him and say what? I was just talking to her. Call him and say what?
Tell him, goddamn, hit breakfast. He know what I'm talking about.
Just say Miles said get bro for him?
Yeah. Send them folks down here.
Okay.
These folks trying goddamn murder, gang charges, and like they saying I'm trying to like get more ranking in the game. That's why I guess that's why the shit I did, whatever the shit they accused him, he's like it's for initiation, like a higher rank in the game. Like that shit.
Yeah, it's tripping. Yeah, but that's why you just need to cooperate and do what you got to do to get on up out of there, because you have a son.
Yeah.
So you can't be thinking about nobody else or what nobody else got going on. You got to think about you, because don't nobody give a fuck about you but you. You can't be thinking about what them folks on. I ain't trying to say, but
yeah.
You just need to start. You just need to think about M Day. That's all I'm saying. Think about him and yourself, baby. You can't be in there.
What you crying for that?
Huh?
Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
I'm not crying. I'm not crying no more.
I need you to get that number from me, bro.
You acting like you want me to call on three-way or something?
Nah, hell no.
Okay, I mean, but how would you get the number? Like,
call on three-way.
This number, number. Oh wait, let me go home. No, her number says I can take that at the car.
What is they doing?
Right here. Hold on, I'm calling.
You heard what I told you, what I said before I left? Huh?
She ain't answer. But I was just talking to her literally like right before you called.
You have 1 minute left.
I said, you heard what I told you before I left?
What you say? No, I didn't hear you tell me nothing. I love you too, man.
Don't let me fuck your day up, bro. Stop crying.
I was going to cancel my claim, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Hey, listen, I'm going to give you my Wells Fargo thing so you can go in there and sell this money to you. It's $1,200. I got to give you the login, you know what I'm saying, so you can sell.
What? You didn't ever get that money?
Yeah,
So when you going to give him the login?
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to hang up and call it.
Oh, so you can call it. I'm thinking you ain't going to call it.
I'm saying, he said I can give you the phone, or they said I got court tomorrow at 12.
I know, that's who right before you called, that's who I was trying to get on the phone with to get the link, he said.
To get the link?
The link, the Zoom link. I can watch it.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
So, Your Honor,
That's call number one.
that call is relevant because of the context of the other calls. So what is notable about that call is, first of all, he discussed.
So it seems like what the prosecution is trying to prove is they're trying to tie in the murder charges that they have against little damn, what's his name again? Lil'Miles. Now hearing them play the series of calls and playing them in sequence of events like that, and you hear Lil'Miles, you hear him several times talking to it sounds like several of his homies, and he's on the phone with his baby mother, and he's like putting it in very limited terms, basically, and allegedly putting it in very, very limited terms. You can see like how he's trying to tell her about certain things, Now it's just one of those moments where it's just like, damn, like it's kind of quenching to see how how real once again life gets, bro. Like it's not a game, man. Like it's serious. It's real serious, because at the end of the day, look, man, like this man's facing probably 25 years life, and right now, when all the games is all said and done, he's on the phone with his baby mama. He don't sound happy at all. Dude sound like he do not want to be there. all the gang and all the gangster this and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not what it is at the end of the day. Like, because you're not sounding so gangster anymore. Like, nobody is, and it's not to say that just about him, but it's just, bro, you human. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, man, like, all that gangster ain't coming back to pay for it in the end. You know what I mean? Unless you you got to be one of them people that end up changing your life and changing your lifestyle. Like, that's just how it got to be. Like, you might could come up off of it, but at some point it has to change. Now, what the prosecutors reviewing, basically that Lil'Miles, they're saying is that he's basically hiding weapons. The prosecution didn't say in particular what kind of weapons they are looking for or named any specific kind of guns. But as you can hear in the phone calls, in the tapped phone calls, with Lil'Miles, basically, allegedly, he sounded like he got several of them things, you know what I mean, ready. So, with that being said, it's like the prosecution is just trying to pin him and take him down, because from what I think is, if they can pin him down and track him down to a weapon, and basically they could track him down to a weapon that maybe they already have in custody, that they already have in evidence, and then maybe from there they will go on to ballistic matching, or they already, you know what I mean? They're trying to just pin the ballistics and pin whoever with the weapons. So, I mean, it seems like the way that the prosecution is trying to constantly go at Lil'Miles for it and trying to put this as like something else under his belt, it just shows, like, once again, like, how much do they really have? You know what I mean? Though they are charging him with murder, like, it's like sometimes it really comes down to like how much evidence do they have, or is it, you know what I mean? Is it a lack of evidence that they really got to spontaneously try certain things? The prosecution team has to spontaneously spin the case. Like, they have to try new outlets, new things, new theories. So it was a little mind-boggling to see that is, kind of what the prosecution team is focused on and worried about. But I mean, at the end of the day, in Young Thug's hearing, in his case, Young Thug kind of got a very kind of small win, because the judge doesn't even want to hear the evidence that they're trying to bring back up that was already suppressed. You see what I'm saying? So in Young Thug's case, it looks like that's kind of the same thing that Lil'Miles' attorney is kind of aiming for too, because if you hear him when he speaks, he keeps admitting, he's saying, hey, what does this have to do with YSL, with the YSL case, with him having these firearms? There's pretty much no point of it. Like, they're just bringing this up to dig up information to just throw on top of him, which it has nothing to do with nothing. Which I do want to give credit to, because I think his attorney name is, hold on, let me get it right before I say dude's name. I don't know if it's pronounced right, but Anastasios Manetas. So, so far, what I've seen from dude, he seemed like a young guy. He seemed like he kind of has a work ethic. He seems like he just needs to be a bit more persistent. Now, I'm not an attorney, never been an attorney, but from what I've seen in my knowledge and of understanding, he seems like he's really not that bad. But more as this case breaks down, we're gonna be taking a look into some other things, and we just got to pay very close attention to the details that they're specifically bringing up in the case, because some of it is valid and some of it is not. So, but this is Saga TV. Make sure y'all tune back in. Let's go.